Take a look at these rooms. Different styles, different layouts, different moods, yet somehow they all feel right. You might think it's furniture, or the decor, or maybe just expensive taste. But as an interior designer, I can tell you this. What makes these rooms work isn't one perfect piece. It's how every element works together. Nothing here is random. Every piece chosen thoughtfully. And what's really interesting is, if you change just one thing, one chair, one table, or one material, the feeling of entire room can completely change. Today, we are going to break down several beautiful rooms and uncover the principles quietly working behind the scenes, so you can start applying them to your own space. Let's go into it. Let's start with balance. Here are a few very different rooms. Even though the layout aren't symmetrical, none of them feel awkward or unstable. That's because balance isn't about everything matching. It's about visual weight. How heavy or light the elements feel to your eyes. In one room, a large sofa might anchor the space. In another, that weight is balanced by height, lighting, or architectural elements. If too much visual weight sits on one side of the room, the space feels unsettled, even if all the pieces are beautiful. A good test is this. If you remove one major element and the room feels off, balance is doing its job. Now let's talk about height. This is one of the most overlooked principles in interior design. Your eye moves vertically, from low seating to mid-height tables, to tall shelvings, lamps, or artworks. And when everything seems at the same height, the room feels flat and unfinished. Even small changes, taller lamps, higher hung art, floor-to-ceiling curtains, can completely transform how intentional a space feels. One thing I love about these rooms is that nothing feels like it came as a set. The seating pieces don't match, the tables don't match the shelving, and it's intentional. I don't see these rooms as a collection of furniture. I see them as a composition. Every single piece was chosen with care, and each one affects how the room feels. If you change just one element, the entire mood of room can shift. Variety brings personality. The key isn't randomness, but contrast with intention. Now imagine these rooms without texture. Same furniture, same decor, but everything is smooth and flat. They would instantly feel lifeless. Texture is what adds depth and richness to space. Across these rooms, we see the mix of soft upholstery, natural material like wood and stone, matte finishes balanced with subtle shine. Even neutral spaces feel layered when texture is used well. Texture allows a room feel interesting without relying on trends. And it's one of the reasons these rooms will age beautifully. Now, let's look at color. Across these rooms, you will notice something in common. They don't rely on lots of colors, they rely on intentional color choices. Most of these spaces stick to a limited palette with consistent undertones, warm with warm, cool with cool. When accent color appears, it feels deliberated, not accidental. When rooms feel chaotic, it's often because undertones are fighting each other. When everything works together, even a simple palette feels elevated and calm. I always say, restraint in color often creates the strongest impact. Furniture sets the foundation, but decor tells the story. In these rooms, accessories feel curated, not generic. You will notice fewer items but more presence. Art that feels personal or unexpected. Objects chosen for texture, shape, or meaning. Decor isn't about filling a space. It's about adding character. A room can have beautiful furniture, but without thoughtful finishing touches, it will always feel incomplete. One last element that ties everything together is the lighting. Every room you have seen uses layered lighting: overhead lights, table lamps, floor lamps, and accent lighting. Lighting shapes atmosphere. If your space feels flat or uninviting, adding just one additional light source can make a dramatic difference. So these rooms don't feel right because of one perfect sofa or one expensive piece. They work because of balance, variety, texture, intentional color palettes, and thoughtful use of height. The good news is you don't need to redesign your entire home to apply these ideas. Small intentional changes can completely transform how your space feels. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know. And if you're currently working on your space, tell me, what are you struggling with most? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.